Tuna fish sandwiches. You know, when I was a kid, my mom would make a tuna fish sandwich for me for lunch to take to school. And she put a hard-boiled egg in there and a box of raisins. And the only funny thing about that is that when you're eating a hard-boiled egg, when you're like 12 years old, you're going to get a lot of, ribbing from the other kids. At any rate, though, I loved it, and I still love tuna fish sandwiches. But now I make them a little bit differently for myself. I still use canned tuna. I like the ones that are packed in water instead of packed in oil. I try to get them with as low sodium content as possible because I'm getting on in years now. And also, I use a baguette instead of that swishy, soft white bread that we used to use. And a little touch of Dijon mustard to kind of kick it up a notch. And as well, a nice sweet lettuce. If you like sweet lettuces, like romaine lettuce is a nice, good sweet lettuce, or a butter crunch lettuce is good. A touch of lemon to bring out the bite, and a nice vine-ripened tomato. Delicious. Okay, tuna fish sandwiches. As I said, this is what my mom used to make for me, put in my lunchbox when I was a little boy, and I just loved it. It felt like love to me. So basically, you get your tuna from a can. I like to get my tuna packed in water and not in oil. I also like to watch and try to get the tuna that has the lowest sodium possible. Again, as we get older, we got to watch the sodium. So now, in my tuna, everyone has their own mix. For you people who like Miracle Whip, die. No. If you like Miracle Whip, that's fine. I like mayonnaise, okay? I like mayonnaise. I like a little bit of Dijon mustard. And on the sandwich, I'm gonna put some a sweet lettuce, in this case, romaine lettuce, and a really nice red ripe tomato, and a dash of lemon. Okay, now, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a really good crusty bread. This is unlike the kind of white squishy bread that we all grew up with. That bread was wonderful when we were kids, but now we've grown up, and I think a good crusty peasant bread like this Francese is very good. A baguette is good, as long as you get it fresh. It doesn't like break your teeth when you bite into it. I'm gonna take my serrated edge knife and I'm going to attempt to slice the bread here. Let's see what happens. That is good. This bread has a really good, nice crust. Obviously, it can be any kind of bread that you like. I happen to love French bread. If you're into whole grain bread, which I am in ordinary circumstances, that's good too. But somehow, for me, a tuna salad sandwich just has got to be on a good, crusty French-style bread. All right, so now I've got the bread cut, and I'm gonna lay that to the side. I'm gonna take my nice clean spoon and add in the mayo to the tuna. A little bit of Dijon mustard. And now, the fun part. Mix it all up. Mix, mix, mix. I like to have my tuna fully incorporated. Now, you know, there are different schools of thought about this, but I don't like the idea of the tuna being chunky at all. I also like it to be really nice and creamy. So usually I would add a little bit more sauce to this. Now I'm going to commit blasphemy, right? Now I'm going to reach over here and get some garlic powder, onion powder. Now, to those of you who don't believe in garlic powder and onion powder, I understand that. That's why they make all different kinds of ice cream flavors. I think that this is, again, what my mom used to do back in the really old days. And so I feel good about it. It just kind of recreates a flavor from my youth that is really, really wonderful. So a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. Smell all that artificial stuff. Yummy. And it's really nicely incorporated. I'm going to set this bread aside for a moment. Lay my 2 pieces of good crusty French bread out. I'm going to put on, again, nice sweet lettuce. I'm using romaine today. Again, depending on what you go to your greengrocer and you see what they have available. If what's good today is a butter crunch or some other kind of wonderful lettuce, you put that on. If you like something bitter like an escarole, you put that on. Okay? And I'm going to lay my tuna on top of this bad boy. And let's see how it goes. Now see, already in my mind's eye, I can see little Johnny being beat up in a schoolyard. Ah, such fond memories. Okay, now I'm gonna quickly, deftly and adroitly slap this on top. Now, you have your schools of thought about this, to cut or not to cut. Some people think that cutting the tuna fish sandwich is a little bit kind of wimpy. No, I think it's important because, my mom used to cut my tuna fish sandwich for me just like this. And then I would open up my lunchbox at school and the other kids would just die of envy. Now, to go along with this, to make it kind of a soup and sandwich kind of thing, I like to have a nice canned split pea soup. Again, not everything in cans is bad. In this case, I'm using a nice organic split pea soup that's a vegan style. I happen to like the way it tastes. Some people think that split pea soup has got to have pork in it, like ham or a smoked shoulder. I admit that does taste better. But sometimes I just want the lightness of having a good vegetable, completely vegan style split pea soup to go along with it. So I'll just open up this can, dump it in a pot, and either just heat it on the stove or else put it in a bowl like this and heat it up in the microwave. And there I have my circa 1962 tuna fish salad sandwich, kind of like Mama used to make. Really, really delicious. Hope you enjoy it. It's really good. Really, really good. Okay, did I have food in my mouth or something? Oh, the final thing is the hard-boiled egg. Mom would always put a hard-boiled egg in my lunch bag. And I love hard-boiled eggs. Now, when I eat a hard-boiled egg, I gotta have a little bit of salt. So, a little bit of salt. You have a bit of tuna in your mouth already. Go for that hard-boiled egg. Okay? That's really good. To your mother and mine.